Hello. Well, it's Sunday. Hope everybody got to view my barrel nut video last night that I posted. But anyway, in that video, at the very beginning of it, I say that there was a gentleman that wanted me to do a picatinny rail. Now this week we got a handguard coming up, and I've been having short breath all day. Oh, for any new viewers, I guess I don't put this out every time. I'm terminally ill. I have a disease called pulmonary fibrosis, the lung disease, and it's trying to take my life. And I got to get a lung transplant, which is a few months off yet. Actually, it's about 8 months off. I'm hoping it's earlier, but I don't. Well, I'm actually hoping it's not. But this is starting to worry me a little bit, just because the day's been so short. I'm barely getting enough breath. But anyways, that's what you're seeing here. And I just cleaned up the shop, so there's debris in the air. And my doctors are very, very strict on the fact they want me in this mask if I'm get debris in the air in here. Absolutely have to. It will complicate this if I get any more, ingest any more, breathe in any more debris. My career has, over my career, this is what has caused this. I worked in the aerospace business. I worked for a company. I'm not even going to go into it because it's just some stuff that I really shouldn't be talking about. But anyways, exotic materials, and it has it's trying to take my life. So you might see me gasping and stuff, but that's what's going on. So let's get past this. So here this morning I came out. I pulled a couple pieces of aluminum. This one being the better piece of the two, but unfortunately I got a mill. I'm going to use my face cutter, my face mill, face cutters, fly cutter. I got to take a lot off of this to get it in dimensions for me to do a picatinny rail. But we're going to cut one today, and we're going to post this video tonight. So I broke down the picatinny rail right here. So what we have is a form tool. It's a Picatinny form tool, and I had to purchase two of these. I got a good deal on them, $200 for the two. And this is can be costly doing these videos. Generally they're right around $300, and I found a decent supplier and $100 less for the two cutters. You have a female and a male. But anyways, we're going to break this Picatinny down, and how we're going to get our numbers. This is how we get the numbers, where we're going to use this cutter to go in and form our Picatinny angles. The Picatinny rail right here is what we call an inclusive angle. Each one of these angles is 45 degrees. This would be your center line, 45 degrees, 45 degrees. And what this means, it's an inclusive angle of 90 degrees. So when somebody says it's an inclusive angle, you can divide it by 2 immediately, and you know it's two smaller angles combined. And that's what it's called, inclusive. So anyways, here's how you break this down. We take our overall width, we divide that in half. We go down here and we get our channel width. This is or our base, whatever you want to call it, which is this width right here, right between my fingers. Okay, and that's 600. So it's not that hard to find out how much we're going to cut off each side. So there it is. We're going to take 115 off each side. But basically, it's 415. Once we center the tool, in the milling machine, and our aluminum's dead. This tool's going to be dead in the middle, dead center to it. I'm going to move over. 415 would put me right here. Then we'll either, I'll zero in the middle and just run over 415, and then I'll run over a little bit more for clearance. Then when I bring this tool in and I start to cut this, and I can do this in one pass, but I'm not going to. I'm going to be gentle on my tool because I want tool life. This is it. So we can either zero here, come over, drop our tool down to our height, go in and cut our rail, and here's our numbers that we're going to be working with on the drill. So it's this simple to cut this down, to get this, figure out where we got to put our plate, locate our tool, and where our finished cuts are. And it's not hard at all. Right there it is. You can look at that, and you can, common sense, you can break that down pretty quick. All you need is basic math. So anyways, I'm going to set this piece of aluminum up here in the mill. I already warmed the mill up. I already took the rotary table off, or indexing fixture off the mill from doing the barrel nut yesterday, and I indicated the vise in. We're going to put this in. We're going to use our face cutters, and we're going to cut this angle off back here. We're going to bring it down to that corner and this corner, and that'll leave us enough material to do a picatinny rail. And then we're going to cut it, and I'm going to show you all the, of course, in time lapse, so I can show you the entire process. And we're going to cut a picatinny rail today. It's going to be this long, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this into maybe 2 3-inch pieces, or 2 3.5-inch rails. And this handguard I'm going to make is going to be, you're going to be able to add and take rails away from it. So we'll make these rails for that handguard, and we'll do it here today. So if you have any questions, and you really don't need to do anything but go back and stop this video and look at this diagram real well. It's self-explanatory. You can't miss this. The biggest thing is understanding inclusive angle, what this actually entails, and then understanding the form tool is already manufactured with that inclusive angle in it. So this basically cuts that entire profile in one shot. Go to the other side, cut the entire profile in one shot. We're going to do each side in a few passes because, like I said, I'm going to be gentle on my tools. I like tool life. Getting my tools to go as far as possible is a big deal here. Again, sick, Dr. Bills, all that crap. So anyways, let's get busy here. And we're going to set up in the mill, and I'll bring you back once we're on the mill. Okay, so we went over the board over here, and I might go over a little bit more. So I brought that piece of aluminum over, and I put it in the mill here, and I went ahead and squared it up and brought it into dimension. I didn't do any video of that because it took a little while to do it. There was quite a bit had to be removed. And it's now, let me see if I get this on tripod. I'm going to bring it in a little closer real quick so you can see that. So there it is. Here it is. So what we're going to do at this point, let me bring it back. Now you can see me again. I'm just trying to do this with what I'm working with there, people. I appreciate your patience with my my professional videography. But anyways, if you remember on the board, our total width was 830. So I cut this down to exactly 830 right here, this width along it. So I'm going to take my face mill out. I'm going to get my my edge finder. I'm going to pick up this edge right here. We're going to zero on this side. We're going to bring our tool in. We're going to set our zero dead in the center of this part. Because remember, 830 divided by 2 is 415. That's our total. That's half the width to that point of that inclusive angle. Right to that point. We're going to come in 115. It's that simple. So 115 from 415 is 300. So I come out, and as I bring my cutter in, as soon as I hit 300, we're done on that side. We just hit our finished number. We'll bring the cutter out, and we'll go bring it over here and do the cut on the other side. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and pick up my zero here. I'm going to bring my cutter in, zero in the center, and at that point, I'll do a time lapse from the entire cutting of the picatinny, both sides. I'm trying to keep these videos short and to the point. So, and of course, at the end, I always talk to everybody at the end and show the part off a little bit. So let me get this done. I'm not sure that I'm going to put the recoil slots in. I might go ahead and do that. That might take a little while. I mean, that's not a big operation. It's pretty just cutting slots down it at a specific width apart, all the way down, how picatinnies are done. And but the biggest part is that profile. This is what I want to show you. And I can put this back in and cut those slots at any time. I just don't want to put that added time in here, but maybe we'll do it. We'll see how this goes. So let me get this set up, and I'll bring you back. So our depth here, they have some minimum depths of about 370. I'm going to go 390, which is the very bottom of this cutter to the top of the form for the picatinny is around 390 is where I'm going to go. And so what I did, I bring this down really, really slowly until I can get a piece of 1/1000 brass under it. right there. I'm exactly 1/1000th off the top of that part. I got a little scratch in the top of the brass right there. So I set my 0 on my Z up here. It was exactly 1/1000th. Okay. And now I know how to get, where we're going to do our depth. Now we're going to come off the part. And here we're zeroed. And remember, our 415 was our very tip of our point. So we can go past that. Let me zoom out here and I'll show you the drill. So I'm going to let you see this drill here. Let me work this up a little bit. So, can you see it? All right. Oh, I can't get used to this damn thing. Okay, hold on a little bit. Hold on. Okay. Now let's see if you can see this drill. So the X travel doesn't matter at all. Can you see that? There's so many glares in here. Okay, so we're sitting at 0. Well, we're now at 415. We know it finishes at 430. So, oh, excuse me, that was center. I never zeroed. So this picatinny is actually 832 in width. And I just rounded mine off to 830 for now. It's only 2/1000. Its actual finished diameter is 832. And that receiver did measure 832. But I'm sitting at 415.5, which is only half a thousandths off of 432. Excuse me, 832. So anyway, so we're going to set our 0 on our Y here, right dead in the center of the part. We're going to move over. We're going to cut this backside first. I'm going to move over so I'm cleared. I clear the part. Now we're going to drop down, bring our head down. We're going to bring the Z down. So my Z is zeroed right at the top of that part. Let me back this, zoom out a little bit. Okay. I'll back this up a little bit. Okay, I just want you guys to understand this completely. So we have touched off the top. So we know our 0 dead at the top. We know our depth is 390. That's where I'm going. They have a minimum depth of 370. I can go to 380 and be in the middle. I mean, either or. So my Z is 0. I'm now zeroed in the center of this part, and we've moved all the way out so we can clear the side. And we know our finished number is 300. This is that easy. We're going to drop our head down. We'll go 380 first. And if it doesn't look like it's quite even with the top here, we'll drop it another 10. I can always go drop 370 and then continue down. So let's go 375. What we'll do. So I'm going to drop the head down right here, 375, 100, 200, 375, 2. That's fine. I'm going to lock my head, and we're going 0. It's 375 exactly. Let's see if you can see that. This thing is so slow responding. So we're sitting at 375 exactly on our depth. We're over 783. So now we're going to start bringing our cutter in. This gimbal can be so hard to operate sometimes. It goes backwards to the thumb thing. And I got to go into settings and change that. And then as soon as I put it back on, it goes back to default. I don't know what the deal is with that, but that's exactly how this works with this thing. So here we are. So we got our depth now. Our depth is going to be dead perfect. And we already know half of our 832 is 416. So we're going to I'll do 1 or 2 passes till we hit our finished number. So we're going to come in to 430 or 416. We'll do it to the 832 number, but this is actually measures 830. I'm 2,000 small. So let's come into That's almost touching the par right there at 700. So let's do 100. So let's see here, 8, 300, 15, 415. Let's do 525. That'll be a decent cut. That'll be a decent cut right there. Now I have got to figure out my speed here real quick. We're going to lock this table down in this direction on the Y. And we want it to move in the other, and I got the remote in my hand. So I'm going to shut this off at this point and get this machine, the speed set up on the spindle. And then I'm going to do a time lapse, and we're going to cut that side. I'm going to bring it over and cut the other side, all on time lapse, nonstop, so we don't make this video too long. So let me get this, get the spindle speed set, and get this thing on time lapse, and we'll get this picatinny cut. Okay, I just finished the time lapse of it. Let me put this back a little further. So I'm going to pull it out of the mill now. It looks pretty damn good. So we just finished the time lapse of the cutting, and here we are. I'm just getting ready to, I already loosened this, but then I remembered to turn the time lapse off and do a regular shot here. But there you go. Picatinny rail. Beautiful stuff. I don't like doing less than beautiful. That's just how it is. If it's not that way, I don't do it. So I'm going to shut this off, get set up on the workbench, and we're going to go over this. And this video is pretty much done. I just want to cut a basic profile for y'all and show it to you. Okay, that's all I wanted to do. That's all this was about, was cutting up the profile of a rail. Basically, we put the recoil slot in all the way down, but that's so easy, and it just doesn't. There's nothing you're going to learn from it. It's just running an end mill at a specific depth and cutting straight lines all the way down it, specific lengths apart from center to center. So let me turn this off, and I'm going to set up on the bench over here. Okay, we have this out of the mill. Look at that finish. Look at that finish. Isn't that beautiful? Boy, it turned out beautiful. So what we have 832, and then at the base here is 602. So there, my basic concern, my concern with this was priority totally was to cut a profile of a Picatinny rail, excuse me, and for a gentleman who wanted to see one done. So there we go. And this here, I'm actually probably going to end up cutting it in 2 or 3 pieces for smaller Picatinny rails that are going to go into this handguard. They're going to be able to be placed in different areas on the handguard, removed, and moved around wherever you want them. So we accomplished this. This is done. Picatinny. There you go. Everything we didn't do is put the recoil slots in. There's nothing to that. It's just taking an end mill, getting the specific depth, and cutting straight slots from center to center, and just that's it. It's a specific dimension from center to center of each slot. So you will cut a slot, move your end mill a specific specific distance, and then cut another slot center to center, and just do that all the way down. And it's real easy to do. You're not really going to learn anything from it. It's just literally cutting slots a specific distance apart. And but there we go. We got the handrail done. Everybody, please like, share, and subscribe my videos. I'm very grateful for all of you again. And this week we're going to do the handguard. This young man that I used to work with, we need to cut him a gear for his RC truck. He brought this over this morning. The driveline gear broke at one time. Oh, oh, oh. He repaired it. This truck goes, but we are going to make him a spare gear. So that's something we're going to do after the handguard. The handguard's a priority. So, anyways, what time is it? I think it's like 4. Let's see here. It's 4:02. So I've been out here most of the day. I got up 7 o'clock this morning, came out here, warmed it up in here, warmed the spindles up, warmed the spindle up on the mill. Then I got hungry for French toast. So I drove up to the grocery store and got everything for French toast, came back. We got the French toast in, and right about that time I come back out. Austin arrived here with his truck, and he wanted to bring it over so I could fit the gears correctly. We're going to make our gear a little bit better. We're going to make it stronger. So I need this in front of me so I can see the thickness, how much thicker I can make the teeth. I'm going to widen them up a little bit, put a little bit more meat on them, because he tore some gears off. But we also know that the engine was out of alignment, which plays a big role in loading gear teeth correctly. You know, you got to load them equally, and consistently have a consistent engagement, a certain percentage of engagement. Gears, thread engagement, gear engagement. Engagement plays a role in many applications, mechanical applications. And this specific gear here got tore up because it was out of line and engagement was off. So we're going to make them a better gear, and we're going to get this handguard cut this week. Let me think, is there anything else I need to say? I wanted to tell everybody other than thank you very much. I love y'all. And I don't know what's going. I think the aluminum comes Tuesday. I'm pretty sure it's coming Tuesday, and so depending on what time it gets here Tuesday, whether I'll have time to get started on the handguard. If not, we'll start on it Wednesday, and we'll have the video done by Friday. The handguard is going to take a little while. This is quite a bit of machining to do on this, mostly the boring and the internal work, and of course the external work, that cutting the hex. We're going to make a hex shaped handguard with the picatinny cut into it, and that's going to be quite a bit of work. But we're going to get it done. We're going to make a beautiful billet handguard, not a junk cast one, which is what we see on for sale. Most of these ones where people are buying are cast. I mean, they're strong. They're way better than the older ones. But mine is going to be billet, and it's going to be custom, and it's going to be a beautiful piece. And somebody's going to get this handguard, and yeah, it's going to be a cool week coming up. So, anyways, I'm a little hungry. Oh man, getting a short breath all day. Oh Lord. Anyways, I think that's about it. I'm going to go back and try to get this video all put together here. I try to record these clips where I don't have to do a lot of editing. I just take one clip and put it in, then next clip, next clip. So I'm getting better at this, but I'm not awesome at it, and I don't have a lot of interest in it, but I know it has to be done for this, and I'll get better in time. So just bear with me. Please like, share, subscribe. My information will be in the description. If you'd like to support the channel, information is there. If you need to email, ask questions. If you have a question, please email me. I sit in here tonight and every night, and I talk to people. I email people back, and we discussed a few things. And this has been going on for a while. I get quite a few emails, but please, that's exactly what we're here for. And everybody, have a good rest of your Sunday. I hope you have a fantastic work week, and we'll see you later this week in this handguard machining video. Oh Lord, I tend to talk fast, I know, but with the breathing thing, believe it or not, that contributes to fast talking, because you're always trying to get words in between breaths, and I find myself talking faster and faster, and that's what plays a big role in it. But anyways, everybody, have a great evening. I hope you enjoyed this. This wasn't a whole lot to this cutting of this Picatinny rail, so this video doesn't have as much machining as like the barrel nut yesterday. That was a lot of machining in that. This was too, literally I squared it up off video, showed you the squared up piece of the vise, and then cut these Picatinny rails that quick. So love y'all. I'll see you this week.